Here we go. Welcome back to Stocks by the Numbers, and I wanted to take a quick look here at Richtech Robotics, symbol RR. I know a lot of people are pumped about this. The stock obviously just over the last couple of months went from about the 50-cent level to almost over $5 a share, excuse me, 5.20. Recently been tightening here in this little triangle, and we had news come out after hours that they're doing a $200 million offering, which is pretty intense in my eyes because this company has been kind of just floating along. We have a $352 million market cap as of close. Obviously, we're down about 9.5% right now, 284. So we're down to like 320, 315. We could see after hours we immediately dropped down to about 2.5 and then had a nice bounce. See, in my opinion, this one is just hard to call because I know everyone jumped into all of these AI, tech, robotic stocks, anything with probes, anything with satellites, and we just pumped them up, again, in my opinion, kind of prematurely. So this stock went from new lows, well, not technically not new lows, but we went from on the way to new lows probably, down at 53 cents, it looks like, 52. And then we ran all the way up again about 1,000%. And my main concern is they just did a $200 million offering, right? So before the volume started to come in going into the end of and the beginning of this year, this company had a market cap of like 70 million, 80 million. Pumped the stock up, begin to tighten in a channel. Now they're doing a $200 million offering. So only because of this recent pump does this, I guess, not look too bad. Because if a 70, 80, $100 million company did a $200 million offering, obviously that is kind of a recipe for disaster. But the stock got pumped up, so they were able to do their offering. But as of the close, we're talking about a $350 million market cap, $200 million offering. I mean, that's like 60% of current market value, right? So in my opinion, the stock really should be down much more. But again, we know it's a young, up-and-coming robotic stock, so a lot of people out there may just be buying this dip. If we look at the bottom of this range, you can see you're looking at the low twos, maybe like 220-ish. And if we happen to break down out of that channel, this fib right here, 210. In my opinion, the stock really should be like $1. But I don't know if it's going to drop that much with the rate at which it's trending. But I would say conservatively, maybe $1.50 to $2 a share. If I was involved or if I was looking to take a position, maybe you can start at that point. But this is your support trend line here, going back to the lows right there, August 6, 24, coming up, touching those lows there of about the third week of November 24. And you can see if we were to drop down over the next couple of weeks, you can see we're potentially pulling back to about 90 cents. If we slowly come down like this, you can see maybe $1.10, which was technically a key level before the stock jumped up and took that next leg higher. So a couple of levels to watch, but again, it's hard to get something like this precisely correct because of the power of social media. So again, this is a company, they make robotics, it's like serving drinks and whatnot, people are pumped about it. So you know, again, I appreciate the appeal, but it's obviously your call if you want to jump into this one. Yeah, the debt has come down. Not much debt here on the company, holding about $14.5 million in cash. So debt minus cash would be about $14 million. Assets outweighing liabilities. Equity climbing up here to $41 million. So if we add the cash with the equity, we're at about $55 million. You can see book value 45 cents, which is probably why, you know, it was on its way up into the teens and then recently jumped up here with this bump up in assets. But you can see why the stock was hanging out at like 50, 60 cents. But the revenue, again, it comes in sporadically, and we can see that technically over the last couple of quarters, it's actually been down with the company technically still operating at a loss. So that's why realistically in the numbers, again, you know, fair value maybe 60 million and change. If you want, you can like double, triple that. 120, 150, 180 million, 200 million even in fair market value if you want. And you can see that the market cap up here at 350, and then they did a 200 million mixed shelf. So, I mean, in my opinion, in theory, in the fundamentals, it really should break down out of this range now after this offering and pull back. Maybe, again, it was, down here at 50 cents before it started to run up. So if we double that a little bit, about $1 and change, in my opinion, that would make sense. But again, if it happens to hang out here and then break up to $7, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked either, because that seems to be the pattern. But did we have any news? Announces grand opening. Okay. Town Square location. Opening on the 9th. AI-driven service robots. Alright, so that's opening this weekend. This is the first store of their brand, with additional stores expected to be open soon. Alright, so I guess we have to wait and hear the feedback coming out of this Vegas location. Serving as barista, offering a wide variety of milk teas, coffees, desserts, utilizing NVIDIA AI technology. Will detect when customers are present, engage them in conversation, take orders verbally, monitor and adapt to changes in his environment, and craft beverages with high levels of precision and accuracy. Again, I mean, it's cool, and I get it, but I don't know, is it necessary? I don't know. I'd still be in kind of like the wait and see mode. Show me the proof in the pudding. Because technically, again, if it's really going to blow up and become popular and these robots are going to be everywhere, then technically, even at this valuation, couple of $100 million, you can make the argument that in the long term, the company, I should say, is undervalued, right? So in my opinion, I'd wait maybe for a little bit of feedback here. And I know, again, they said they're opening up a handful more locations. So I would give them a minute. Especially, again, after the stock running up here into the 4s, pulling back into the 3s, and now you do a 200 million mixed shelf. Again, that was about 3 times the total market cap of the stock before it started climbing in November. Just keep that in mind. Today's announcement is a major milestone, marking the official launch of our innovative food and beverage brand. This grand opening highlights our ability to leverage AI-powered robotics to drive real revenue in the hospitality industry, setting a new standard for automation in customer experiences. This will be a vibrant destination, delivering an interactive and dynamic experience that perfectly captures the energy and excitement Las Vegas locals and visitors crave. Yeah, see, so it's now like a little tourist attraction, like, oh, come to our store, get served by a robot. So, I get it. They're trying to bring in, make a little tourist attraction, kind of, get that excitement building. Has deployed over 300 robot solutions across the U.S., 300, yeah, and they're only making a couple of $1 million, it seems, so, that's surprising. Golden Corral, the Hilton, oh, Boyd Gaming, okay. I mean, again, could it be good? Yes, of course, we know that. Anything could be good. I'd wait for a little more proof in the pudding, but again, that's just me. If you're telling me, hey, listen, I liked it at 2-3, if it happens to break down and drop into the 2s or back into the mid-high 1s, I'd buy even more. And listen, more power to you. Showcase CES. Presenting. Ghost Kitchens to manage. 20 additional Walmart located restaurants. Okay. Again, it's a hard one to call. But again, technically a small, I guess, micro cap penny stock, long-term grower. So just, understand exactly what you're buying here. RSI touch below 58 here on the daily. We were climbing up, got above the mid-Bollinger Band, and right now the stock pulled back. Looks like right back to the mid-Bollinger Band. Yeah, sitting in the 280s, so it looks like it's trying to hold that, but realistically, it really should break. It should come down here, and you can see we were looking at what the fib level of 210, bottom of the range was like 220, and you can see the 50-day moving average 212, bottom Bollinger Band 207. So that's why a pullback to around the low twos, in my opinion, makes sense and should more than likely be coming soon. A break here to the 200-day 130. I know a lot of you probably wouldn't want to see that, but in my opinion, that's really where the stock should come back to and retest before maybe quieting down and finding support and bouncing back up. But only time will tell. Again, we know the power of social media. MACD was spiking upward. Now we're going to drop back down. Weekly RSI a touch below 61. Again, looked like we spiked up and began to consolidate into this channel, and now we have the offering, so we're sitting like here. Mid Bollinger Band on the weekly, $1.58. 50-day moving average, $1.39. So you have a lot of action in the low 2 range, and then you see that if we happen to break those support levels, we can immediately pull back to like the 150s, the 140 level, and maybe meet up with some of those bands and maybe some of those moving averages. Let's check the pivot points real quick. Okay. Yeah, so it would test the moving average, obviously, before it would drop down. If we come back here, last month, looks like a pivot point maybe around like 235, 240. So we could potentially see a pullback with a little bounce at that level. Next support level here on the daily, $1.23. And again, in my opinion, it should go there, but of course I'd want to see it come back down to these levels first and then see how it reacts. And then if we do look like we're continuing down, then if you were looking to add, obviously you could wait till around the 1.5, 1.25 level potentially. But over time, it could be good. I'm just surprised, they supposedly deployed a couple of hundred robots, but I don't know. It seems like, I don't know what it costs, but it seems like not much business is coming in. Let me see something. Again, could be good long term. I don't know what I could really say here. Because of course, if people own it, they're going to be like, "Oh, you don't understand. This is going to change the world, right? We're going to have robots everywhere." And again, that could be a very good point. That could be true, and this could turn into, a nice growing stock. But in my opinion, I've seen so many stocks now just on the down and down. They're operating at losses. They haven't delivered for shareholders over the last 1, 2, 3 years. And then that's when everyone gets it trending and it spikes up in value. And then everyone misses the run. And then we have FOMO. And then 9 times out of 10, these companies essentially say, "Oh, thank you." Because again, now they do a 200 million mixed shelf. And the stock isn't taking much of a hit because it's trending so much on social media. But again, down here, we had like a $70 million market cap. So we couldn't do a 200 million mixed shelf, you understand? So then we spike it up and run it up 1,000%, and now we do a 200 million mixed shelf. But again, the company had a market cap of only 350 million even at the close when they did the 200 million. That's why I'm saying the stock really should drop to the low ones. But we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade. If you're expecting bigger and better things, obviously, let us know down in the comments section. If you agree and think you can get a better entry price, let us know that also down in the comments section. But that's pretty much it. But obviously, as news comes out, if orders come in, we start deploying more robots. As they said, they're going to open up more locations. So as more and more of that is approached down on the timeline, we'll come back to it and I'll do some updates on it because I know everyone's pumped about it. But again, not really my cup of tea right now, but if you're in or you want to get in, of course, I wish you the best of luck. I hope it works out. But Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, actually, let me check the short float real quick. Pull up FinViz. Bang, bang. Short float right now says sitting at about 19%. I just want to see if I missed any news. Now we talk about CES. We talk about, yeah, the new opening in Vegas. See, and you go back to September. They raised about 20 million. September 3rd. Yeah, see, so we bounced up and spiked back up from breaking down to that new low of 30 cents, and we ran back almost to, over $2. And then you can see just a couple of days after they had that run back up, that's when they did the 20 million offering, and you can see the stock comes all the way down to about 50 cents and change, right? So again, when the stock was down here, in my opinion, at really where it should be, around $1, sub $1, they did a 20 million offering. Now we spiked the stock up. Now they do a $200 million offering. So, again, in the long term, it could pay off. In my opinion, they're going to need revenue to start chunking in. Otherwise, it's really going to drop. Well, it should anyway, in theory, drop back down to these support levels. But anything can happen. Again, as news comes out, I'll do an update. But that's it. I'll end it there. So once again, Stocks by the Numbers, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comment section. I'm usually pretty quick to reply. Thumbs up algorithm helps me get more eyes on the channel. And of course, subscribe to the channel. That's our handshake agreement. That is how you help me help you. But more importantly, moving forward, like I always say, I understand that markets are rocky, they're volatile, and they are very uncertain. So I want to wish all of you success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.